At LHTC Broadband, we're proud to provide the communication services you need to get the most from today's technology. We're your local choice for TV, phone, and internet. We offer high-quality cable TV service with HD, multi-room DVR, on-demand, and watch TV everywhere. Plus unlimited calling, and our internet is faster than ever with speeds up to 1 gigabyte. With no contracts and local customer service, switching has never been easier. Call today, 724-593-2411, or visit lhtcbroadband.com.
Next on Westmoreland Saturday morning, it's Heritage Happenings brought to you by St. Vincent College here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net.
Greetings, Westmoreland County. My name is Jessica Petrovich, and I am your Discover Westmoreland director and host of Heritage Happenings here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net, sponsored by St. Vincent College. Heritage Happenings is also available as a podcast on all of your favorite streaming services. Please check out Westmoreland Heritage at westmorelandheritage.org and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates on cultural and historical events throughout Westmoreland County. It's a great upcoming month in Westmoreland County. Today we are joined by guests from Stage Right and the Irwin Business and Professional Association. Our first guests, Christopher McAllister, Executive Director at Stage Right, and Nick Navari, composer of Local Singles, a show that Stage Right will be debuting, are on call with us this morning. Chris and Nick, thank you both so much for joining us on today's show.
Great. Good morning. Thanks so much for having us.
So Stage Right is preparing for an exciting upcoming performance. And Nick, you are a local composer, so I'm going to direct this first question to you. Could you tell us about your creative process for making Local Singles? That's the name of the show, right?
That is the name of the show. You got it.
Yes.
The process started really back in 2016. I had the idea for a show. I never thought I could ever write a show or would ever write one, but I did have the idea for it back in 2016. And
wow.
Then in 2019, what I say is I always say this, I exhausted my excuses. I had no other excuse for myself but to write it. So I just started writing just for myself with no promise of anybody ever seeing it or hearing it. I was just writing it on my lunch break. And then at the end of 2019, the show received a grant, the National Endowment for the Arts, for a full production.
Wow.
We were able to shoot it as a film in 2021. And then now, for the first time in front of a live studio audience, it's coming to the Lamp Theater through Stage Right.
Nick, that is so exciting. And now I'm curious, are you a playwright by training, or is this something that you've done in your free time? Just kind of an off-the-cuff question. It's really amazing to me that you were able to create something so spectacular.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I guess I'm a playwright only in the sense that I've written a play. You know, I went to school. I was going to be a lawyer first. I went to school for law and economics, and I work. My day job's in finance right now. And so no, not a music major, not a theater major, not a writing major, not a film major. It was just something that I wanted to try, So
wow.
I downloaded the script writing software specifically to write this script. And now here we are. So that's, sometimes it just happens like that, I guess.
Well, that's amazing. And I love the marriage of, your financial background and the arts coming together. It just goes to show no matter what you're doing, there is always a place for the arts in your life. That's very inspiring to hear this whole process. And Chris, that brings me to you. So how did you hear about this awesome show, and why was it chosen as part of Stage Right's lineup for 2022?
So I'm a really big firm believer that, everything happens for a reason. And a lot of times when you're running an arts organization, you're definitely going to get emails that seem kind of spammy and kind of like, hey, buy our dance shoes. They're better than other people's dance shoes. So I had this email from Nick, and it was like, check out my show. It's really cool. And I started to see some buzzwords like New Hazlet and National Endowment of the Arts. And I was like, this seems, semi-legit. So I'm going to click on this link. Yeah, so I did. I clicked on the link. I checked out the webpage that's dedicated to the show and kind of looked into the history. And, Stage Right has always had a place for, helping new works and new artists kind of get a little bit of a jump start on what they're doing, premiering new things, working with new and exciting pieces of work. And I was like, okay, let's bite on this and let's do this in February. So
oh my
that's pretty
gosh,
much how it led us, to today. That we're in rehearsals currently, so it's still a process.
I didn't realize how kind of serendipitous this whole thing was. That's so exciting. And Nick, I'm sorry, I should have asked you, can you give us a small synopsis of this show without spoiling anything,
Sure.
of course?
Right. There are a few twists and turns along the way I won't give away, but sure, the show really closely follows the 5 members of the Local Singles, which is one of the last surviving support groups for lonely people. So we meet these 5 people kind of in the middle of their journeys, and they're all looking for something. They're all looking for, maybe that's love, maybe it's happiness, maybe it's just friendship, someone to be there for them. And as the journey progresses and we get to know them and we hear about their trials and tribulations, see that they all grow close together so that when a tragedy does unfortunately rip through the group at the end of the show, we see that they may not have found what they were looking for at the beginning, but what they did find is each other. So I really wanted to write about familial love outside of the typical family unit, which is something I never really saw talked about much in the media. And so that's kind of the basis of Local Singles. But
Wow.
A lot of comedy along the way, and I really think it's just a good time.
I like this idea, too, of like a found family coming out of the pandemic, especially as everybody's returning to their social circles, and you may have gone through a period of deep loneliness. So this certainly seems to fit perfectly with the current times.
Yeah, I think so. I think, I was always trying to write with the audience in mind, and certainly, this show was written before even, the word pandemic was even at the, anywhere close to our minds.
Yeah.
But as the show has, gone through a few tweaks during the pandemic, it surely was something at the top of my mind, trying to pull that out and trying to draw from those experiences that are so fresh in all of our minds right now.
And Chris, I'll turn to you for another question that just came to my mind here. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Nick says there are these 5 individuals in the show. How did casting work for you guys? Were you able to have in-person auditions, or were people, I know a lot of local groups have been sending in videos. Did you go with some tried and true actors and actresses that you know? What was the process like for that?
Yeah, it was a little bit of all that, actually. We have some really awesome and fantastic resident artists at Stage Right that instruct our students in our classes, and so a couple of those individuals were, some dead ringers for a couple of the parts.
Oh, great!
And then there were some other folks that, through some recent collaborations, had really kind of presented themselves, and it just, this particular show. We didn't really go through a giant audition process just because, things just kind of fell together in a really cool serendipitous way, as you kind of said before.
Yeah.
We were still looking for, 1 or 2 particular roles to kind of fill out, and went through some recommendations, looking at some reels that people had sent in previously to Stage Right in the records. And, I think kind of ended up with 6 perfect individuals to go ahead and do this show, here in Irwin at the Lamp Theater.
Yes, and again, another question I should ask you. So this particular episode of Heritage Happenings will air on Saturday, February 19th. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is it then next week that the show begins? Give me the dates and times at the Lamp Theater.
That's correct. You can see it at the Lamp Theater the 25th of February, which is a Friday. It's at 7:30, Saturday the 26th at 7:30, and Sunday the 27th at 2 p.m. matinee.
Perfect. And I assume tickets available with you guys and with the Lamp Theater?
Tickets available at the Lamp Theater. You can give them a call or check out their website and take care of it all down there at the Lamp.
Perfect. Okay, so again, that show is February 25th, 26th, and 27th. We have the 2 evening shows at 7:30 on Friday and Saturday, and a matinee 2:30 on Sunday. And you can go to the Lamp Theater to get your tickets. And Chris, I'll close by asking, what else new and exciting is coming up in 2022 for Stage Right? I think I saw online that there's some exciting exciting audition opportunities coming up. One of my personal favorite shows, Joseph.
Yeah, we return to the Palace Theater April 8th through 10th for a fun and exciting Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. We're looking into, we have some posts going out right now and some audition calls going out right now for individuals to submit reels. We're not doing in-person auditions, so you can follow the social media posts and send in exactly the little video snippets that are required. So we'll be announcing that stuff and all those details very shortly. We have ongoing semesters of classes with our students. You can enroll anytime. And then look for some exciting new things upcoming with summer. We've got a new format for summer camp in the month of June, and then we'll do a traditional big music theater summer camp in July. And then we'll be hopefully, way before then, but we'll be announcing our I guess it'll be 2022-23 season, which will run September through April as well next year. So it's kind of weird to say 2023. But
I know that year doesn't seem real. Wow. Well,
no, it doesn't.
Of course, always great things going on from Stage Right. And Nick, I'll turn to you last. Were there any other pieces of information you wanted to share about the show or why folks should come and see it during this time?
Well, as I was writing it, my main goal was that an audience member would walk out. They're walking into the theater. They don't know. It's not Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, right? They don't know the story. They don't know the song. So my goal when writing it was for them to walk out of the theater with the song stuck in their head, knowing, you know what, through this world, we're going through a lot right now. It's still a pretty good place. So I promise if you come to the Lamp Theater and you see local singles, you will walk out of the theater with a song stuck in your head. And I think we'll put you in a good mood, too. So that's the only thing that I always say about the show is it's going to be a good time. So come on down.
Oh, I love this. Thank you both so much for your time, Chris and Nick. I really appreciate it.
Great, thanks for having us.
Please check out Stage Right at stagerightgreensburg.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Instagram. And make sure to get your tickets for local singles by local composer Nick Navari. And that show will be February 25th, 26th, and 27th at the Lamp Theater. Tickets available by going to the Lamp Theater's website or giving them a call. This is Heritage Happenings, the show with the latest information on Westmoreland County cultural and historical events and organizations. I'm Jessica Petrovich. Thanks to our sponsor, St. Vincent College, for supporting our show today. Our next guest, Ed Sam, is on call with us right now from the Irwin Business and Professional Association. Ed, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well, good morning, Jessica, and thank you so much for including me.
Always. I'm thrilled to talk about Irwin this morning.
Yes.
I know that the IBPA, the Business and Professional Association, already has had some great events in 2022, including Galentine's Day. So how did that event go over?
Well, that Irwin, it's the biggest little town in Pennsylvania, and that I trademarked, but Galentine's Day kicked it off, and it was fantastic. I went around to every single store, filmed everyone, because I'm going to create something for them, and every one of the stores told me how busy they were.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Yes, it was fantastic.
And this pairs nicely. I know that later on in the year, the IBPA does a ladies' night in Irwin, which is almost the same concept as Galentine's Day, but this is a great way, in the winter, if you're feeling a little cabin fevery. I hope that this event continues in future years, because I think that it's a wonderful idea to have something like this in the winter.
Oh, yeah, that's Tracy Aaliyah from Feathers Artist Market. She did Galentine's Day. She was the chairperson. Mm-hmm. And of course, Ladies' Night is always so popular. And they just love it and grade it. And I think if Roy Orbison was still around, he'd be so excited because there are so many pretty women.
That fits perfectly, huh?
Yes, it does.
And Ed, let me ask you, too, so you mentioned that you had gone to all of the participating stores. How many participate in an event like this? And can you give us a few examples of some of those stores that you can visit? Yeah,
there was around 20-some stores
that
actually participated in it. And, of course, one was Feathers Artist Market. One was Interiors by Wolfslegel. McFeely's Gourmet Chocolate.
Yum. Perfect for February.
Yes. Colonial Grill. Main Street Music. The White Elephant, which is the ladies' dress shop on Main Street. Impressions by Threads, which is Marlene Beeler. She was involved in it and everything.
Very nice.
And, of course, the Lamp Theater also did some things, too, as well.
Oh, that's great. And I like, we had just spoke to Stage Right, and they're having a show at the Lamp Theater later on this month. And it's always nice to be able to see those collaborations between different organizations and
know
how the Lamp welcomes everybody.
I just did some work for a lady, Diane Maycas, which she's part of those Two Broke Country Girls, and they're going to be at the Lamp Theater, too.
Yes, that show is coming up very soon here. And that leads nicely into my next question here. What other highlights are coming up in 2022 for the IBPA? There are so many events going on. I'd love for you to take us through some of them.
Oh, you got an hour to go?
10 minutes, if you can fit it all.
Of course, March 12th is the pre-St. Patrick's Day Family Food Fun Fest. We will have St. Patrick there, and if you come to see St. Patrick at the Lutheran Church on 5th and Main, you will get a green hat, you will get a little rubber snake, and a couple other things.
That's awesome.
That St. Patrick did, So that'll happen, and I started that about 3 years ago, and it's been great every year.
I love the idea of the rubber snake. That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then on April 30th is the next popular thing, the spring car cruise.
I can already feel the warm weather.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we all want that, don't we? Yeah, that's an amazing thing, the car cruises, because we usually have 300 to 400 cars.
Wow. That
are in the car cruise. Yeah, like it starts on 3rd Street on Main Street, at the corner of 3rd and Main, and it goes all the way to the end, all the way down to Pennsylvania Avenue, and in 3 of the parking lots, there's cars parked all the time and everywhere. So
now,
that's
for
great.
An event like that, Ed, is it mainly North Huntington and Irwin residents? Do you have folks coming in from all over the place to show off their cars? I'm curious, who's bringing their classics to show off.
They're really all over the place, because the first thing we do is we put it on we put it on a website called carcruises.com. And we put it on there, and then people just, for the spring car cruise, they pay their $15 or whatever it might be, and they come and they show their car, and they love it.
Wow.
And they love it. And then we also do a fall car cruise, and that one is in September, and that's a free car cruise. All we do that for is the courtesy of the cruisers, so that they can come, have their car there, and enjoy a car cruise.
Oh, that's really nice. And especially to have them come in twice a year. It's nice to get both of those different seasons as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And then after the car cruise is the Spring Craft and Vendor Show with ethnic food.
Yum.
So that'll be there. Yep. So that'll be good. And then after that starts Music in the Street. And we're doing 3 of those this year.
Now, those I remember seeing in past years. It's just the crowd is unbelievable to attend these. It's really spectacular how many people can come to Downtown Irwin and enjoy something like this.
That's right. It's an enjoyable event, and you sit there and you have entertainment, and it doesn't cost a penny.
And having these free concerts, I know that there's these beautiful Music in the Streets, there's Greensburg Summer Sounds, there's TGI Thursday concerts from the Cultural Trust. You will not lack for musical entertainment over the summer. You just have to know where to look.
Yeah. No, it's going to be great. It's going to be all 3 of them. They're going to be great. And the one thing that we started this thing called CarlCon.
Okay.
CARL .con. And what CarlCon was, it's for collectibles and retro lovers. So you can come, you can rent a table, and you can sell things that might be old, or whatever. It's just like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Steel City Collectibles. They do in Monroeville. Well, it's similar to that, but it was very successful last year, and we know it'll be successful again this year.
Oh, well, this is really neat. So last year was the first year for this event? Oh, my goodness. Yep. And I assume this probably was inspired by like a Comic-Con style event. Is that where that came from?
Sure, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's great.
And I was in charge of the Beatles, you know, so I went as John Lennon.
That's amazing.
I actually bought a Beatles wig and put it on and my round glasses.
Now, that is something that I need to see this summer, so you can count on me being at this event.
Okay.
Well, of course, there's always something special coming up from IBPA, and we just had Ed go through a great list. And then if you're interested in seeing more of the events, you can go to downtownirwin.com, and they have their updated list of events on there. So, Ed, my next question for you is, how could an individual or organization interested in joining IBPA go about doing so? I mean, there's so many lovely shops and people who are in the area, and you guys put on such wonderful events. I'm sure there are many people who want to involve themselves in them.
Well, the simplest way is, you know, we meet every Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Either at the Colonial Grill or at the Norwin Chamber. Every other week we go back to those two places, and somebody can come just to one of those meetings, or they could call Lois Wolfslegel, who is our president, and her number is 724-864-0560. Call her and say, hey, I'd like to be a member. And it's free to be a member of the IBPA.
Oh, that's great to know. Really, really good.
Because we're all volunteers, you know.
Ed, do you know when the organization, it's, you know, a group of professionals, when did this first get started? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Well, yeah, it was way back. I think in the late 70s. And it was Lois and Lenny Santmeyer. You know, Lenny was the original owner of the Colonial Grill. And, of course, Lenny has gone now. Mm-hmm. And his son, Gary, owns the Colonial Grill. Gary Santmeyer. Mm-hmm. So that's when it all started. And the borough came to a couple of the businesses and said, do you think you can help do things? And between Lenny and Lois, they got together, they started everything, and it was fantastic. And the most memorable part of it was, at the time when they were started, the vacancy rate in Irwin was close to 20%.
Wow.
Now it's less than 2%, and there's no empty stores on Main Street.
Oh, that's
there never
really wonderful.
Is. If somebody closes their store, somebody goes in within a week. I mean, at least they start renting it at least within a week.
Wow.
So it's really great.
Well, it's always inspiring to see how, you know, it's just a group of community members who decide that they want to give back to the place that they live. And not only, you know, through their business, which of course, you know, we want to support local business, but then they in turn are supporting the local community and the people who live there. It's a really compelling place to live. And I have had the pleasure in the past of going to a few of your meetings, and it's really just, you know, a beautiful gathering of people who really care about where they live. And if you're feeling, you know, cynical about things in the world, I think that this may be a good balm for that, going to one of the meetings.
I go to places like in Greensburg. I go to places in Jeanette. I just left the Westmoreland County Chamber meeting, and when I tell them I'm from Irwin, they say, "Oh, we love Irwin," you know, because they know, they know it's great. Yes. And one thing I want to tell you, you know, my company, what I do is I do video production. So I film every event that we do in Irwin for IBPA.
Wow.
And I put it on our YouTube channel. I make a movie out of the film, and I put it on the YouTube channel, and our YouTube channel is called Irwin, Pennsylvania. So if you go to YouTube and then search that Irwin, Pennsylvania, you'll find it. And an average number of people that watch the videos is 201. And of course, each one of those people tell 10 other people, so that's 2,010 people. In fact, here's something. It goes back to 2014, all the events. There's actually 103 events on that YouTube channel.
Oh, my goodness.
But there's a 104th one. I found the 1937 75th anniversary parade of Irwin, and I grabbed it off of the website, and I put it on the Irwin website. And 984 people have watched it.
Oh, my gosh. And to find something like that and be able to share it, that's really special, too.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's great.
Well, and thank you so much for all of your time this morning and all of these events here. And it's always great to talk about what's happening in Irwin.
It's a fantastic place. And I love the fact that when I was born, I lived on 9th Street in Irwin.
Well, thank you so much, Ed. And please check out the Irwin Business and Professional Association at downtownirwin.com. And you can also find them on Facebook by searching Downtown Irwin. This is Heritage Happenings, the show with the latest information on Westmoreland County cultural and historical events and organizations. I'm Jessica Petrovich. Thanks to our sponsor, St. Vincent College, for supporting our show today. Before we close, we have a quick announcement to share from St. Vincent College, our show's sponsor. The Verostko Center for the Arts has opened 2 new exhibits. They are excited to kick off the spring semester with People of the Book and the Storyboard and the Hoods series. Both exhibits opened on Thursday, January 27th and are available for viewing through March. People of the Book and the Storyboard features contemporary Jewish graphic novels and comics. This exhibit assembles a dozen projects that visually recount stories from the Bible, rabbinic writings, the Passover, and personal biography, principally first-person narratives from the Holocaust, in formats that engage readers of all ages. At a time when visual storytelling is experiencing renewed resonance, these works were selected for their ability to balance tradition with innovation. Visitors will be able to view printed selections from each of the books, while copies of the works on view will be available to peruse in a comfortable reading area within the space. The opening day of the exhibit featured a conversation between Rabbi Jamie Gibson and Rabbi Emeritus at Pittsburgh's Temple Sinai and Rabbi Jason Edelstein, chair in Catholic Jewish Dialogue at St. Vincent College, and the exhibiting artist Ben Schachter, St. Vincent College professor of visual art. The 2 surveyed works and explored the role of interpretive storytelling within Judaism. The event was free and open to the public. Additionally, the center sponsored 2 virtual events. One took place on February 10th and featured an art historian, and the next one is coming up on February 23rd. Nina Caputo, associate professor in the Department of History at the University of Florida, will present an in-depth exploration of her book, Debating Truth, a graphic novel on medieval Catholic Jewish dialogue. To learn more about these presentations and to receive a Zoom link to virtually attend the February 23rd conversation, you can email verostgocenter@stvincent.edu. The exhibit and its related programs are sponsored by St. Vincent College, the Verostko Center, and Steel Tree, a fund of the Jewish Federation of Pittsburgh. The center is also pleased to share the work of Tara Lamore, a professional artist and longtime educator at St. Benedict's Preparatory School in Newark, New Jersey. To combat harmful stereotypes and racial profiling that has resulted in the brutality and murder of young men of color, Lamore created a series of portraits imaging her students. Lamore paints these young men wearing a black hoodie, part of the uniform for seniors at St. Benedict's Prep, that recalls the monastic habit worn by the Benedictines of Newark Abbey who support the school. In addition to Lamore's work, a small selection of artifacts relative to the history of St. Benedict's and Newark Abbey will be on view. The Verostko Center is located on the 2nd floor of the Dale P. Latimer Library on the campus of St. Vincent College. Details regarding programming can be found at verostgocenter.org. For more information, you can contact Andrew Julo, curator of the Verostko Center for the Arts, at andrew.julo, Julo, at stvincent.edu. That's all we have time for today. Be sure to stay safe and healthy. Take some time to visit and enjoy our Westmoreland County cultural and historic sites and events. And of course, be sure to check out St. Vincent College and all of its recent accomplishments. Follow Westmoreland Heritage on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out all of our information on westmorelandheritage.org. This has been Jessica Petrovich, your Discover Westmoreland director and host for Heritage Happenings here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net, sponsored by St. Vincent College. Heritage Happenings is also available as a podcast on all of your favorite streaming services. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Until next time.
How will your college experience transform you? How will you learn to make a difference in your life and the lives of others? At St. Vincent College, we attract high-achieving students who quite naturally place we ahead of me. A small college like St. Vincent gives you more access to the opportunities that will shape your future.
At St. Vincent College, we succeed together.
Together.
Discover the power of we. Learn more now at stvincent.edu.
At LHTC Broadband, we're proud to provide the communication services you need to get the most from today's technology. We're your local choice for TV, phone, and internet. We offer high-quality cable TV service with HD, multi-room DVR, on-demand, and watch TV everywhere. Plus unlimited calling, and our internet is faster than ever with speeds up to 1 gigabyte. With no contracts and local customer service, switching has never been easier. Call today, 724-593-2411, or visit lhtcbroadband.com.